Oh, oh, I think, I think I'm there. I think I'm here. I am here. I must. Oh man, I don't know how to act. 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 I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. I don't know how to act yet. Let me see if I know how to act. Give me a moment. Let's see. I need to check out one thing. See if it's good. See if it's good. This is the first show of the new era, and I need the channel. I'm live. How does it look? It looks amazing. That looks amazing. Oh, but I got a little problem over there. I can work out later. Jay, go tell me how I sound. Go tell me how I sound in the other place, Jay. Yeah, and leave me and leave me a message over there so I can see if I can read the messages. Think, think. And while you all do that, while y'all come in and get ready for conversations with T Nathan, let's start the intro off with a little young Merc Fire. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this the warm up too, right?
That's the warm up too, right?
So I guess I gotta torch something.
Got to torch something. Flame on.
They keep saying, Merc, you need to get back to the music. Like I'm not smoking everything I'm touching on some new shit. I'ma lose it, I still a hazard on some duke shit. Boxing with the devil and I'm still undisputed. Plus I'm eating from the bottom like a starfish. Now I'm taking heads off like I was eating crawfish. Fly shit, I stick with the bird. They say I'm barfish. Leveled up and still got
Let's
the
rock.
gloves like Tony Stark chest. Fuck a new era, bitch, you can't rap and just say that. Pay homage to spitters who made a way and paved it. When respect was earned and you had to work for your playbacks. Born in late June, but can't wait to got me a Maybach. They love seeing you take a L, but hate it when you bounce back. I want all the smoke. Pull up if
I
you
want all the
really
smoke.
bout that. I'll let this
Pull
clip
up.
go. Reload
How I
it,
look,
spin
Grace?
around. Made a name, I'm turning
Gracie, how do I
conservatives
look?
into loud. Sick of all of y'all dumb fucks. Killing my vibe, I can't have it. Everything I do super dope. Got me feeling like
Sound
a
is
street
good
rapper. Bitch with
everywhere.
a red dot. End up
Let's
in front of the lens like a paid
go.
actor. And I'm still key your fave rapper. Tomorrow in a day after. Let a goofy try to rob me for cash. Pulp fiction, let her reach in the bag. Then I up it with the Glock in the mag. Sudden move, then I'm dropping his ass. 40 with the beam, he getting tagged. Through the front and nick him out of the back. Buy his life and let him walk with the cash. Last option, the left to be bad. Never claim to be innocent. Just know that my hustle
Never claim to be
legitimate. If I
innocent.
said anything that offended you, just know that I really don't give a shit. Just know
Sounds
that it's
good.
facts, so
Looks
feelings, bitch.
good.
Go ahead and
Let's
get back just a little bit.
go.
It's still gonna be a big pill to swallow, but it's gonna be harder than arithmetic. It's young Merc, bitch, get it right. Got tired of my fucking my name up. Niggas wanna start fucking with me once they seen the way a nigga came up. Had to cut them off like my flow, cause I noticed they started to change up. Then they had a nigga brushing backwards, started fucking my wave up. Big green, no soccer movie. Fuck you if you thought you knew me. Fuck y'all for that black face. Till this day, I'm never rocking Gucci. Pop up on a nigga like a Willie, and I'm on his head like he bought a shoey. Who the fuck is Alec Baldwin? I heard this motherfucker literally shot a movie. Doing fuck shit just for the sake of getting clout. We all know, really don't want the beef like it's in and out. Biggest bitches usually be the ones with the biggest mouth. I catch a fucking body and walk like I'm Kyle Rittenhouse.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all give it up. Give it up. Come on in. Come on in. Tell me how you like the new screen. Yeah. 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 I mean, it's almost like you got a new laptop. Almost like I got an upgraded camera, mic, everything. Almost. Right? Like the screen? You like the cybernetics on the screen? Yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I had to do it. I had to take these off. I don't think I thought it was new. Yeah, it's new. It's new. Like lighting good, lighting good, sound good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, y'all gonna be tired of me. And I see you over there, Willie. Look, Willie, I can see your comments now. What's up, Willie? What's up? Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Conversations with T Nathan, 2025. Say it, 21st. What's the date? 21st. Today, July the 21st, Monday. We're gonna call this the conversation transition stage. Yes, we are here. We got a lot of new stuff coming for you all in the way of visuals, um, chatting, everything. We good. We got sound. I can see your comments over on the other place, in the other place that TikTok gets mad about. Um, I hope you no lag time. Sound good. Mic's not going in and out. Yeah, it's on. It's on. Y'all thought it was like popcorn before. It's like popcorn with butter and caramel from now on, right? Well, how y'all doing today? Greetings, salutations. Foxtrot Delta Taco, I'm glad you're here. I saw a comment you made and I wanted to address it. I'm glad you're here. It was a comment you made and I want to address it. I feel your sentiment, but we got to talk about it. And no, you're not in trouble. Don't anybody be like, "Oh, am I in trouble?" No, it's not in trouble. It's just something that needs to be addressed and understood why. Um, but before we're gonna get to that, we're gonna get to that. But let's talk about it. A couple of hours before I came on, I was reading the Trump administration released 240,000 pages of the King documents, documents that were about spying on the FBI is spying on Dr. King, legally tapping his phone, following him around the country, all those things. 240,000 pages of J. Edgar Hoover's fevered dreams. And yeah, I'm probably not going to read all 240,000 pages. I need an index. But most of the stuff I feel like I've already read. I'm sure I have. Um, the thing that did interest me is they do talk about, and I'm going to tell you why this is a problem, but I got highlights. They also have the FBI's record of the tips they were given concerning the assassination of Dr. King that they never followed up on. They also have documents from the CIA and how they took an interest in Dr. King once he shifted his platform to anti-poverty and anti-war. Yeah, and how they was like going to Ghana and other countries, and they were like scared. So that gave J. Edgar Hoover the leeway. And I do remind you that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was the Attorney General at the time, and he did sign off on these surveillance warrants. So yeah, nothing like allies, right? But anyway, it is. But I say all this to mention this, right? They dropped these 240,000 pages. Who you think where they gonna be distracted by the fact that you all didn't drop the Epstein files? And this is what gets some of this that they released, you talk about under court order. It's been under court order since 1977 because it was gained illegally by illegal searches. And they have a court order that it's not supposed to be released until sometime like the Jackie O files, right? But that's the thing. I don't care what's in here. It doesn't change the impact that Dr. King had on the movement and what he represented. Everything else is a fever dream, and I don't care. It's not gonna make. There's nothing in here that's gonna change my opinion about Dr. King either way. It is not. It is not. But this is the thing, right? We released these files without a court order from a judge to overturn the decision of the files. But y'all out here, Epstein files, they say you gotta go to a judge. You gotta go to a judge, right? You gotta go to the judge for the Epstein files because you gotta protect the witness. They gave the family less than 24-hour notice that they were gonna do this, and like they could review 240,000 pages in 24 hours. Right? And we talk about victim impact. If anybody's going to be impacted by these, it's going to be the family of Dr. King. Um, and don't get me started because there are very few members of the family of Dr. King that I think are worth anything, and that would oh, and Coretta is no longer here. Um, Coretta and probably Bernice a little. Yeah, it's problematic. Evita, so she was up there clapping at the White House. I'm like, oh, transparency, transparency. Yeah, on King, on King. What's up, Robert? What's up, Robert? But yeah, this is what they get. And this is just so hilarious, right? All of a sudden now, it's just another incidence of black people being used to further the agendas of white people because now the key, all of a sudden it's fine. It's your first administration, you got the same power, and you only did this. Like a lot of things that are going on right now that he's doing to try to get his base off his ass. Epstein files. So we get the King files. Just Bernice and yeah, and his niece and and his cousin and his nephew Isaac. There's several of them that need to shut up. The only person that really did anything, and I saw, and I saw Martin the third. I saw him when I was in Selma. It was him. He was there. Jesse Jackson was there, and Al Sharpton was there. And I was like, I'm literally on a bridge. I'm literally on a bridge. I could have got a three. I could have got a three. Yeah. Yep. Not an active volcano, but I could have that. I could have lived with that. Yes, yeah. We will keep asking, put it on beautiful boards. Listen. The idea, and I want to talk about something because I didn't put it up, and I meant to put it up, right? Oh, y'all give me a minute. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But there is a guy in Florida. I know what it is. He's in Florida, right? And he was arrested. And he was arrested for saying that he was going to unalive everybody on the Epstein client list, right? Now, understand that the DOJ and the FBI said there is no client list, right? They said that there is no client list. So why they arrest him? Why they arrest him? Yeah, they arrested him. They arrested him for threatening public officials because he said Grok and Grok is the one who told him he was responding to Grok in his post. So it was on Elon Musk app. He was responding to a post about Grok, and he told Grok he was literally having a conversation with an AI about this, and he told Grok, yeah, he was going to unalive everybody on the Epstein. He got arrested for a list that doesn't exist. He got arrested. I just thought that was so hilarious. Right? Like you all spent all the time saying the list doesn't exist and that there was nothing to see here, but you all are the same people that the FBI is the same people that arrested the man who said he was going to kill everybody. On I said kill, didn't I? Yep, I can't help it. I don't know how to speak in politically correct terms. So, yeah, we're not. Hopefully, first day we don't have to go up to the backup page because they killed this page. But I don't know how to speak in politically correct terms. Unalive just sounds funny to me. But yeah, so that's what happened. They said they're gonna kill him, and they arrested him, and he's in jail. He was supposed to go to trial. He was supposed to go to an official appearance today, and he didn't. They didn't take him. They didn't take him. Also today, um, Brett, Brett Hankerson finally was sentenced in connection with violating the rights of Breonna Taylor. Remember that the Trump administration on Friday asked that he be given 1 day in connection with the finding of guilty of violating the civil rights of Breonna Taylor in March of 2020. Well, um, he was sentenced. The judge gave him 33 months, and you all been not clap. Nobody in my comment better say "look at God" or clap because moderators, if they do, I don't want. I'll block them. Anybody in the comments say "look at God" or start clapping like 33 months is good. I don't want you here for having a conversation with someone that doesn't exist. Right. What's up, Dark Knight? Yeah, first he had a conversation with an AI about a list that doesn't exist according to the FBI and the Department of Justice. Yeah, but yeah, so he got 33 months and 3 years to serve. But yes, yes, I got more time and I didn't even kill anybody. I wasn't even involved in the actual killing of somebody. And the juvenile stuff doesn't count because I did my time for that. So that's not the same. We're talking about the federal time. Yes, the juvenile time doesn't count. And there's Okay. If you know, you know. It's Googleable. Yeah, it's like I don't know. That's why I think I feel the way I do about sealed records because my record was unsealed by TikTok. My juvenile record was all over the place. Like, look what he did. Look what he did. I was like, yep, I sure did. I did it. I did it. And got the receipts to prove it. What's up, Reagan? Raven is in the house. How you doing? It was because you messed with the thing that they are about. Mm, true, true, true. What's up, Raven? Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, I got more time than he did, and they tried to give me 15 years, and they gave him 33 months and 3 years on probation. Yeah, yeah. So it is relevant, and people say, "Oh, it's not the same." You're right, it's not the same. I wasn't involved in shooting indiscriminately into somebody's house and they dying. Yeah, right. So 33 months and 3 years. That's what he got. I was actually surprised he got that much time. I expected him to get less than that because the DOJ in this case is now in the Trump and they asked for a day. And I also think he's not going to serve all the time. I think somehow there's going to be, and I don't know. Someone was saying that Trump will give him a pardon. I don't know. I'm not going down that line because it's the same reason the same person said, "Don't. Why you worried about it? Because Trump will pardon him." I was like, is that the status you all are at now? That you all think that even the appearance of justice is? I hope he goes just long enough for him to wind up like Jeffrey Dahmer. I hope he go just long enough to wind up like the guy who shot um Megan Thee Stallion. No, I actually want Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, he's still alive. He's still alive. He just got 14's time. I want Brett Hankerson to wind up like Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, fight me. If you don't know how Jeffrey Dahmer wound up, Jesus did it. And go Google it. And yeah, Jesus did it. Jesus did it. That's what that. I, that's that's the fact. So probably pronounced Jesus, but Jesus did it. Same spelling. I want the same thing. That's what I want. I want. What's up, Petra? So there's where we are on those things. So I told you we got the King files, no Epstein files. We got we got somebody arrested for saying they were gonna murder, kill. I can't get this right. I don't know. Y'all gotta help me out. They said they were going to do it. I could just get it. They were gonna smoke them. Yeah. Somebody got arrested for saying they were gonna smoke everybody on the Epstein list. The FBI and the Justice Department said there is no Epstein list. So why is this guy before? Yep, I knew it. It came up. Your life is ineligible for recommendation and restricted search. I, I knew it. It just came up, y'all. It literally just came up while I was trying to figure out a word for kill. So now that my live isn't recommended, I might as well go and say kill the rest of the night. I'm not gonna stop. It's not. It's gonna happen. Y'all get to see these on. Well, they pop up on the screen and you can see them on YouTube. So hey, might as well. Yeah, you see that wheel? See, Will, y'all can see it on YouTube. Y'all can't see it on TikTok. You can see the appeal that I have to do because I'm not politically correct when it comes to tone policing. So yeah, man. Look, and I looked at the guy, right? I went and looked at I looked at the picture of him. I was like, listen, he also threatened other public officials too. He said, it's time we started it. I have to say on the live, I guess now, right? Politicians probably had more to do with it, but it's just the idea that they imagine they arrested him for having a conversation with an AI about something they said. Say spaghetti. Say spaghetti. Oh, oh, hold on. Am I supposed to not read this? All right, before you text me, I'm not. Okay, gotcha. Hold on. Yeah, y'all know I get texts in the middle of the show, and if I answer them, you know they're from family. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. That's crazy. You saw that, Will? You got to see it? Man, I have been so hungry for spaghetti. See, I can't use food. I can't say spaghetti because it's gonna be having everybody gonna be like, "Oh, we need a break. We need food." Yeah, spaghetti. But that's on that. Also, like I say, there's no there. You won't see me really talking about this a lot because there is no meat there, and these files being released. We also take the opportunity to give it up for Malcolm Jamal Warner's family. Um, he drowned while he was in Costa Rica on vacation. Take an opportunity to give it up for them. Um, Man, this is just so good. Y'all just see. See. I can do this like right now. It's like I got it set up. It is so good. I spent the weekend setting it up. But Malcolm Jamal Warner, he died. Actually died yesterday in Costa Rica. We just found out today because Costa Rican authorities just released it today. I thought that was interesting. He was, they said he was swimming, rough wave. I mean, surf came, took him out, and by the time he got him, they couldn't find him. So Malcolm Jamal Warner has passed. Cosby Show. And I remember him from the People versus O.J. Simpson. I'm gonna tell you something. I think I've told you all this before. Um, I was a different world fan. I really the Cosby Show was there. I knew it was there. I mean, I've seen the something that now as I got older, I did like my favorite episode is the one where they do I have dreams speech in it and they go into that. My appeal was not approved. Just in case. You see that, Will? You see that? Appeal not approved. So I was a big different world fan. I was a different world fan. But I do give it up for the impact that the Cosby Show had on so many non-white people, non-black people. I know people think it's it does represent a certain era of black awareness. I can't. You see that, Will? You will see it. It does represent a certain amount of black awareness, but understand those numbers were driven by white people. So made it the number one comedy on Thursday night, the start of must see Thursday night. It was it was white people. Yes, black people watched it, but I hear it and I'm saying this because I hear all the tributes, and I'm not taking it away from anybody's experience. But yeah, it was. I like rock. I was a rock. I was a rock fan. I didn't identify with Leo Huxtable. I thought it was. I thought it was funnier than other people thought it was. That they did because yes, but I do. I actually liked his work after Cosby Show much better. He had his own show when he was older. Like I say, People versus O.J. Simpson. He was. That's when he proved to me he was an actor because he was a teenager at this time. You see, he's 3 years younger than I am, so I wasn't sure if he was acting or just portraying. But when I see him in other stuff, he was good. Then he was a musician, a Grammy Award winning musician. People didn't know about him also. So we take the opportunity to give a moment to his passing, especially his family, because he did have an impact. Because a lot of white people thought a lot of white people identified black people, and this wasn't a bad image role model to have D.O. Huxtable from the Cosby Show, but it kind of represented, it kind of made it safer in a way when people thought you were D.O. It did. So I will acknowledge that. Sometimes people, in all things, sometimes people take things too far. So yeah, Malcolm. All right, I have several more things I want to talk about because I can, and we can we can get through it. Now let's go to the one big beautiful bill, right? And I wanted to mention this in passing because of the Homeland Security and the ICE budgets, right? So Homeland Security overall budget will be $170 billion. I want y'all to remember these figures. All right, look at the white person. I'm not trying to see more white people. I don't like people. Gosh, it was awesome. Yeah, until it wasn't. I mean, I liked, yeah, I like Lisa Bonet, and I did like Sandra, even though I was like, when she went to law school and wanted to open the thing, I was like, yeah, that's messed up. And I did like Theo. I like Theo, but I didn't see myself in Theo. I did see myself in Rock. I saw myself in that. But let's go to this budget, right? So Homeland Security is getting, and it's one big beautiful bill. It's $170 billion for Homeland Security, and 70, including 75 billion in extra funding for ICE. Do you see that? Can y'all read? I hope y'all can read it now. I know it's still the size on the screen is small because if you're watching on a phone and not a tablet, or if you're not watching, it's a little smaller. So that's why I've taken to highlighting. See, I can do that now. I can highlight what I want to talk about. But the ICE budget is 75 extra billion dollars on top of the Homeland Security budget. Now, I put that and I mentioned that because I wanted to compare a couple of things to that budget, right? I wanted to compare a couple of things to this budget. And this is the budget for the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the X, and Y, the Marine Corps. And all I see is that Trump is bankrupting the USA. Mm, 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 I won't say bankrupting. Uh, because there's a reason I say not bankrupting, and we'll talk about that in a minute. If you say bankrupting the middle class or poor people, I go with you. Yeah, the USA in general, no, they're going to yeah, they're bankrupting the people, not the country. And I say that for a specific reason. If you want me to go into it, I will. But let me go into this first. So remember, $170 billion for ICE, $170 billion for Homeland Security, an extra $75 billion for ICE. It comes out to be $245 billion. All right. Let me be. Okay, I'll let you have that one for now. $245 billion. Let's look at a couple of things, right? Let's look at Air Force budget. Air Force budget is $216 billion. Let's look at the Navy budget, $202 billion. Let's look at the Army budget, $165.6 billion. Let's look at the Marine Corps, $53.2 billion. Extra money that ICE is getting is more than the Marine Corps budget. Let that sink in. Let it just take it in. Just hit you. Just hit it. The $75 billion extra that ICE is getting is more than $20 million almost than the Marine Corps budget. The money that Homeland Security is getting with the extra $75 billion is more than any individual branch of the military of the United. Do we understand? Do you understand the implications of that? I'm just going to let this sink in for a moment. The budget of ICE is 75. The budget of Homeland Security that includes the Border Patrol is 107. $245 billion going to Homeland Security. Big beautiful bill, 245 billion to enslave people more than what prison systems get. More than what prison system gets. And also, let this sink in, right? That there are more Marines than there are ICE agents. But that's only temporary. We'll be getting some more ICE agents. He's paying racists to do his dirty work. They get paid more. It's against the people. Not only that, but you're also going to see the construction of detention facilities. or what I like to call concentration camps, like Alligator Alley, Alligator Alcatraz, which is just a concentration camp. But then again, in this country, prisons are concentration camps. But people don't care about it until it impacts them. But y'all will, trust me, you will, you will. Will. And it amazed me because Ron DeSantis and one of his lackeys were talking about Alligator Alcatraz. And the way they were talking about it, they were actually acknowledging how bad the prison system in this country is when they say the facility you're seeing that has gates and no air conditioning and bugs and in the middle of a swamp, they said that it was better than our prisoners are treated in most facilities in our country. And I was like, did you all catch what you all just said? Did you catch what you just said? You just acknowledged that Alligator Alcatraz you think is better than the prison system in America. I was like, oh, let them try. It amazes me. If you let racists and bigots speak long enough, their truth will surprise you because they don't even hear themselves, making them drink toilet water. Yeah, it's diabolical, but it's the same. Let me tell you something. That the little three urinals and the little button you push and the water come up. That's they get them. They're the same ones in the prison system. The same ones in your cell in the prison system. The same number of toilets that you have for per people in those cages. Yeah, that's about if it's working. If you have five, only three of them are usually working at any one time. Only five. What's up, Misty? But he is the same guy to tell people to run over us protesters, right? And you see the incident that happened in Los Angeles where the guy drove into the crowd. They took him out, beat his ass, and one person shot him. Yeah, if somebody snitched on the person that shot him, we need to find them. We need to find them. Yeah, you ran your happy ass into a crowd of people in your vehicle, and they took you out, beat you, and shot you. You lucky you were recovering. Lucky you in recovery. But I just wanted you all to see this, to see that this money is going to go towards detention facilities. Going, Tom Holman told if you were a retired ICE agent recently, come back. We're paying more. Yeah, he said that. Come back. We're paying more. Um, Retired ICE agents calling them out of retirement to wear masks, not identify yourself, and snatch black and brown people. Do you know the definition of slave patrol, even before it evolved into the police force we know today? The same powers they could. When we people talk about the North and talk about slaves or free, black people were free in the North, and they could just go. No, yeah, 12 Years a Slave. Go watch it. It's based upon that experience where slave catchers could venture into the North and kidnap your ass and drag you to the South and say you were a slave. Yeah. So what we're watching while all of you people taking rests, all the people that say, "Oh, we're just gonna rest until the midterm." Midterm is how many months away? 16 midterms. I'm gonna tell you, I want to get into the strategy. Like last week, I was on my Jamal White's bench, right? And we're gonna talk about him tomorrow if I find out any new information. But last week I was on that, so I didn't talk about some a couple of things that I want to hit on tonight. So you all get to mainline everything I didn't talk about last week. But you look at the fact that these people who are sitting out and saying they're doing nothing, and I look at the temporary um, temporary judge stepped in on the 14th Amendment ruling, and this is what I got. You remember there was an 82-year-old man 82-year-old man that has been in this country for over 40 years. Over 40 years. I think he said 47 years, but 82. And he was snatched up off the streets and sent to Guatemala and didn't even notify his family. Didn't even get to notify his family. and he's in Guatemala, 87 years old. And this is what got me to thinking. See, most people look at the horror of that story, and I do. I look at the horror of that story. He's in the hospital in Guatemala. His granddaughter's gonna go down there to see him now because they just found out where he was. And that happened on a U.S. street. That happened in the USA. This is the thing I just want to know. When we talk about birthright citizenship, right? And we talk about deporting people who were born in this country and their parents were not American citizens. And we get an 82-year-old man deported. No criminal record. None of the things you said you were deporting people for. 82-year-old, right? Tell me this, Batman. How far back are you all going with this birthright citizenship if you get it to the point where you want? While y'all are sitting around doing nothing, the people who, and I'm specifically want to know, the people who sitting around here that share the same kind of history in this country that my ancestors do, how far back are we going with this? Because 80, 40 years is a lot. Are we going back further than that? Because if we're going back to 1868, if you go back to 1868, if you go back to the date in which the 14th Amendment was ratified, you black people that are sitting around here not doing anything, talking about you resting to midterms, you do realize that your ancestry is rooted in people who were not citizens of this country in 1867, right? What's up, Ferris? Thank you. You all do realize that, right? You do realize why these so-called African hyphenated people in America going around here talking about black people from Africa are out to get them, while they're quiet in the face of the actual executive orders that are out to get them, right? While they're quiet in the face of that, thinking that they're safe because that doesn't apply to us. Uh, when do you wake up out of that fever dream? Let's not forget the reason Leon was here anyway. He was tortured for helping. You're right. Point taken. Um, doesn't matter. Just the guy. Look at the guy whose sons has three sons that are in the Marine Corps, and he was beat in the middle of the street and deported. And then his son was like, one of his sons really got to me because he was like, "Well, the system it's just a glitch in the system. They just deported your father. Shut the fuck up. They deported your father. Your father. Your father. The father that raised three Marines. Your father. Yeah, I ain't got no talk. I'm doing good, goddess. Look like my new setup. Like my new setup. Ah, the setup is setting up. Yeah, setup. Uh, you get to see how I really look under some lighting, some good lighting. Yeah, you see how I look? Yeah, you see how I look? Yeah, I'm not washed out. The melanin's popping. Fancy. Before I go to the next topic, I want to address. Like I said, it's not a trouble. I understand the sentiment of it, Fox. Um, but you left a comment and you talking about how I said that it is our responsibility to stand up in the face of oppression, and you said that you understand that, but you think it's white people need to be out here taking the brunt of it, basically, right? And this is what I thought of, right? And I know, and like I say, that in and of itself implies something. And I know they're talking about shit like I sent you this morning and little shit. Yeah. I know. Thank you. I know it comes from a place of well-meaning, but you also have to understand we have to fight our fights also. It's it's not. I know a lot of people are sitting down telling you know, yes, we join together with those who stand against oppression, and we all fight, and we have different parts and roles to play. Yes, but I can't let you fight for me and not fight for myself because it's just another form of conditional oppression. And it's not like you would do it, but what comes out of that is like, you know, what comes out of that is people look at us like, then you're like, oh, we fought for you. It becomes the same thing as people talk about the Civil War. Oh, we fought for you. I thought you were fighting against the oppression of us. So if you're fighting against the oppression of us, then we don't ever have to go down that lane. And I say that because if we don't address that, it's going to become an issue when the oppressor uses it to divide people. Oh, they don't appreciate because white fatigue and white fragility is a thing. Even in the most well-meaning people, um, white fragility and white rage, sorry, is a thing that eats at people sometimes because they're human. But no, we can't allow you to just fight for us and we don't fight for ourselves. But I can't pull a gun and get taken in a line. Right. Like I say, the thing is, we all have a part to play. That's what I started this on. We have a part to play. And the thing about it is, you also know I don't follow white liberals anymore because their part has always left us hanging because we get told patience. We get told patience. Now we're saying, yes, of course you can join the fight, but you must join the fight and be prepared to use your white privilege in a way that effectively works and not just in a way that makes you feel good about yourself. See, there's some people that I'll be watching them and they talk and they be like, they want a pat on the back. They're not doing it because it's the right thing to do. They're doing it because they want to be seen as long suffering. You all know some people like that. I'm sure you do. You know those people that want to be suffering, or, they want to be like, look at everything I do and nobody appreciates me. Yep, I'm sure you all know some people like that. I don't want to create a group of those people. And like I say, it's about knowing that yes, your help is welcome. There's never going to be a time when I don't accept the assistance of somebody who's truly there for the right reason. But I also would turn away the assistance in a helpful way of somebody who's just there to say, "Look at me." Yeah, yeah. We've had too many "look at me" people in the movement. Look at me. Look at me. Look, you're more when you elevate yourself and more important than the movement. That's when I want to go you an active volcano. Ice issues false warrants based on their assumptions about who you believe or evidence. Right. And that's why the Supreme Court, that district court judge, I mean, the appeal judge shot him down and basically told him that you all are just using racial profiling. Racial profiling, you profiling people based on the way they speak, basically doing all the things that you're not supposed to do constitutionally. And I most definitely do know some people like that, and I distance myself from them. Right. We have a love to fight, and that's why I tell you, people be asking me like, "Well, what do we do?" First things we have to do is have honest conversations about what the revolution and what struggle, or what overcoming the struggle and what liberation looks like. And this is the problem with me. When people ask me that question after they listen to me, and I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk about it all the time, people don't listen. But I'm only still I think one of the most important things people don't listen to me about is it's not just about what the revolution looks like for its liberation. It's what governing ourselves looks like after liberation. Because if you have no plan after liberation, you will just wind back up in oppression. That's why I talk to you all about a government must be built that has a foundation. The foundation of that government must be freedom from hunger, free shelter, free education, and free healthcare. That has that's not a safety net. That's not a social safety net. That is a concrete foundation. You build that before you even put your first government on top of it. You build that. The people are never going to go, no matter what their government is. The government is dedicated towards making sure that those four principles are always upheld. And it doesn't matter what kind of government you build on. Long as it's not a me government, long as it's a government, if you truly make government for the people based on those four things, it will make Maslow's hierarchy of needs look obsolete. That is what MAGA is fighting against. That would make I just like this. You saw how they don't touch any white people today. Right. You saw that, right? You saw how they walked. And for y'all who don't know, today in Louisville, Kentucky, Bianca Austin was arrested. Um, she is the aunt of Breonna Taylor. She is the aunt of Breonna Taylor, and she was out protesting today while they were having the sentencing hearing for Brett Hankerson, and she was arrested. And she was arrested and charged with blocking a highway and disorderly conduct in the second degree. She was arrested, and I played the video. If you haven't seen my video, where I played the whole video. There's a video out on my page where I played the whole video that was captured. And what Foxtrot is making reference to is how the police passed by white and went straight to her. And it also, this is the thing with that. It's twofold. That is twofold. Um, type. It shows that, but it also shows you're taking out the person that is actually the leader of this. And see, that's why I tell people in leadership, you have to have the understanding that the people know what to do even when you're taken away. Like my chief of security, his job is going to be to blow up the prison and get me out. It's going to be y'all's job to make sure everything continues to go while my chief of security is getting the necessary equipment to get me out of jail. And I'm not playing. I know a lot of people think I'm playing, but I'm dead serious. Um, Dead serious. That's why he's chief of security. It's not to protect me from people. It's to protect people from me as we're trying to see. I can't even say that on here. Somebody, they should have locked arms with her, but they could. You have. Did you see the video, Gracie? That would have to be a plan going in, and that makes sense if that's something you understand that you should do. But it was the got me, and I think what got Foxtrot was I was watching the white woman who was there, and then when the police came in, she turned and walked away. I think that. Oh, hold on. Oh, also T, you gotta see. I saw them bust out the guy's window. I saw that. I saw that. And so I think that's what also got me about it when I was watching it. The white woman just turned and walked away. I was like, see, this is why. And that is why I say you have to have these conversations and understand as a leader, you have to understand who your people are. I don't ask people to do things they're not capable of. I don't ask I know the capability of people. And I don't ask people to do things they're not capable. If I know you're not capable of being in charge of a violent thing, but you are good at fundraising, I'm not going to put you in the violent. I'm not going to put you on my team when we go to, target, catches fire. You're not going with me. You're not going. You're going. Your job is going to be to provide an alibi because we don't have this fundraising together. Yeah, that's the truth. But I digress. I digress. That is the truth. But yeah, I'm really enjoying. Thank you. Um, I'm really enjoying having all this power that I'm able to have broadcast in multiple places now without mic interruption. I got everything I wanted to be able to do as far as my podcast and my I can do it. I have the capability now. I have the capability. The screen looks good, and so also transition to next. See, we got other transitions we got to do now. See, I don't even have to turn the screen black. I got another transition. I already know my job. My job is to back up Libra. Yes, your job is to back up Libra. And your job is also to let them know I was at the store and work with you. I came to visit. And everybody has a part to play. And that's the thing. Once you get to, and some people, let me tell you something, right? And this is about leadership. And I want if you're seriously going to commit to the movement, understand you have to commit to leadership. And one of the things is trust the process, but you have to trust the person you are in your cell or whoever is leading that division. You have to trust them because they have to know you. And you have there's one thing Siren would tell you. I don't mind pushback when we're in the safety of an environment where you can push back at. That's fine. I will let you rant at me all day for a decision I made in the field. I don't care. I will let you rant all day. Then I will go make the same decision because you were there to rant with me instead of not. If you're here ranting with me, that means we got back safely. So I'm good. You can be mad about it all you want to. Did you have to? Yes, I did. Because if I didn't, you wouldn't be here right now. And you don't even have to understand that. I'm good with that. But at the same time, it's like the time not to argue is the time when we're in the field executing whatever we're executing. If it's just a protest, I have gone to protest with people and I tell them before we go, I say, if anything happens, I don't need you to worry about me. I need to make sure each of you all get safe. You're not leaving me. You're making it easier for me to leave because if I know you all are executing the plan safely, I like I got Leo charges. I don't mind fighting cops for a little while for y'all to get away. I also know my capabilities, physically, emotionally, mentally, all that. I know those. And I'm not saying you don't have them, but I'm saying I don't have to worry if you do the part of the plan. If the plan is executed the way the plan is supposed to be executed, then everybody gets to be home safe. Because I am not in the mood to be going to another funeral because we didn't follow the plan. 6 minute warning. I thought you were getting some rest. Yeah, I was gonna get over on DJ tonight. Got a new system too. Yeah, I was gonna get over on DJ. Yeah. But see, always remember that. Remember, you know, if you're at a place where you can fuss with your leader after the fact and everybody got home safe or the plan went off according to plan, you can fuss. But I don't need you fussing in the field. Like like Siren. She fusses with me all the time. Reese do also after the fact. I'll be fine. They be fussing, and I'll be like, "Yep, you're here to fuss. I'm good." Yeah, I'll take that into account next time, knowing I'm not. Whatever I have to tell you at that moment, I'm not. Plan the work, work the plan. Right. And if I find somebody that I can't, you can't be part of the inner circle if you can't handle that. You can't. This is not. I tell people all the time, revolution is a dictatorship. That's why after if we win our liberation, that's why I'm retired because I'm retiring to go hunt down the people that were sitting on their couch while we were fighting for our liberation. I don't need. I'm not going to be a king. I'm not going to be part of the government. I'm going to form the basis of the government, and then I'm going to retire because I know me. I know me well enough to know that somebody else got to make the peace because I'm going to remember everybody who died. I'm going to be everybody who died that didn't have to die. I'm going to remember everything you did and didn't do. And depending on what the threshold is, I don't care if we're in the middle of a meeting. I might just pull that thing up and smoke you right in the meeting because I still remember and I still think who you are. That's a long plan. It has to be, and it's well. And I've been here the whole time. I can rest and listen and cuss people out in the comment section. Yeah, but it has to be a long plan, Dark Knight. It has to be a long plan. We didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to leave here overnight. And it's because people only make situational plans that involve the safety and concern of the oppressor that we're still fighting here. I'm never going to have a plan where I'm trying to save the oppressor, and you can feel about that the way you want to. I'm never going to dream of a plan that it comes down to. That's why I'm saying I'm not a hero. I am not a hero. A hero will try to save everybody, even the people who do them wrong. No, I'm I'm apocalypse. I'm apocalypse. I'm not only not saving them. I want to teach my people how to survive even better, to get to thrive. You can't thrive until you survive. And then if you're only surviving, that means something's wrong. You got to get to thrive. It has to be a transition. So I am not a hero. You may not be a hero, but I do know you need to touch that beard. What's wrong with my beard? My beard. Look at that. Look at that. It's full. It's yeah, what do you mean touch my beard? Look, I got the mustache trimmed and everything. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. And you want it redder? This is something. All right, I work on it. I work on redder. I thought you would, but it is. It's like I thought that it's like a nice, blend with melanin. Yeah. Martin Luther King. Let me see. Could you go back to that statement? Who said? Could you make a statement? What he said about Martin Luther King? Who needs to set up changes the color? It looks good, but that's fall time. Not need red. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is a color. I thought Martin Luther King. I have Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare for so many people. Martin Luther King's dream was for white America, and it came at the expense of black people. And at the time, he didn't realize it, but he did go to realize it before he died when he told Harry Belafonte, "I feel like I've integrated my people into a burning house." Because this is the thing, and to this day, it's hard for some people to not to understand this. Like I say, I respect Dr. King. He did what he did, what he had, but we have to look back on those times and say what didn't work. And we have to adjust, no matter how much we like or rebel. We have to. It's not the person we don't like; it's the idea that this doesn't work now. It's a foundation we build on and we keep moving. And I say that because, like I said, Dr. King recognized it when he said he felt like he integrated his people into a burning house. And then the revelation was brilliant. The execution is where we failed again. We failed because Harry Belafonte asked him, "Well, what do we do?" It was at that moment where the course of the next 50 years was set in the civil rights movement involving black people. When he said, "Well, we become fire," and we've been saving white people from themselves ever since. We integrated into the burning house. We do the work to keep the house from falling to the ground and the fire from spreading. And you all keep throwing matches at us. Do you understand? Good night, GCP. Good night. If you want to hear the rest of this conversation, you know where to find us. And hey, my system must be good. We got more listeners on the GCP network. All right, you all. I will get to your emails before next Monday. And thank you for joining us. If you want to hear the rest of the conversation, you know where to find us. All right, peace. All right, we've signed out in GCPR. Thank you, Reese. And we have to realize that that one decision there is glitching a little bit. I think it's like you got the since I when I cut out, or is it always? I'm gonna look at the playback over here and see. Yeah, y'all let me know anything I need to adjust over here too. All right. So you look at it and people are like, well, but that was the continuation of everything we have been in this country. We have always been expected to save other people. TikTok did not like that. TikTok did not like that, you all. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Change is coming. Ooh, I just got it. I just, yeah. No, they just gave me another. It was just a warning. That's what y'all hear that? It's like a warning. Like I didn't. Yeah, it was a warning. And it's like they didn't like what I said somewhere along the line, but I don't care. Moving right along. But at the end of the day, you all know what I said. I said that was the point where Dr. King, when Harry Belafonte asked him, "What should we do?" He should say, we get some sticks, we get some marshmallows, we get some chocolate, we get some graham crackers, and we eat some s'mores and let it burn. That was the point where we should have allowed the system to burn itself to the ground, and then we could have built something that worked equitably for everyone. But it's just like now, we're so busy, and I do understand some of it. I understand the idea because I still incorporated a little of that philosophy. Well, I will not allow the system to collapse on us. I will not allow the system to collapse on us. And then my metaphor is I will not allow the plane I am on to crash, but I will take it over so we can land it and get off of it, and you all can get back on. Those who want to get back on the plane and we're happy with it, and y'all can go about your business. But I will not let it crash because somebody decides that they will. And that's what I get from some people. Right? Some people are like, I'd rather crash the plane than to continue like this. And I'm like, where did you all get this mentality that you all just want to die? That you all just want to die? I'm like, huh? My ancestors did not survive the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery, Jim Crow, the civil rights movement, and yesterday for me to be just okay with like I'm no longer the hopes and the dreams of the Negro slave. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to rest, and you all do whatever you all do. If it needs to be dying, then so be it. Are you on? What is that drug? What is that drug? Yeah, we need to know. We need to know what that drug is because y'all sound crazy. You sound crazy. The transatlantic slave trade could not kill my family line. Slavery, chattel slavery, did not kill my family line. Jim Crow did not kill my family line. So I'll be damned if I allow you to, and you look like me. I'll be damned. My family, unlike those people on here talking about, I don't know anybody in Africa. I never been to Africa. So you never been to Alaska either, but you call this your country, right? It's your country from sea to shining sea. Most of you all saying that haven't been out your state. I'm not African. I'm not this and I'm not that. I was like, let's look at this logically, right? Let's look at this logically. How did you get here? How did your family get here? Or we indigenous to these lands? That should be qualifying right there. That should be a qualifying thing right there. We should be able to throw people into active volcanoes just off of the illogical factor of that alone. Just active volcanoes. Because now you're doing the work of white supremacy for them. Next thing I know, you're gonna be talking about a land bridge. Next thing I know, you're gonna be talking about, oh, there was a land bridge, and during this particular time of the year, it was frozen over, and people could just walk over here, and they walked over here. Shut the entire hell up. Shut the entire hell up. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. And just because, listen, or they say, well, my grandmother told me that your grandmother lied. It's not the first time a grandmother's lied to somebody. Elizabeth Warren's grandmother lied to her too. Got her running around here thinking she had indigenous blood in her until that 23andMe test came back. Yeah, your grandmother lied to you. Yeah, grandma lied. And then not to confuse it with the fact that after the transatlantic slave trade, some black people ran away and they were taken in by it wasn't 50-50. It was like 75-25, 25% chance you were going to be returned by the indigenous people you ran into because there was some indigenous people that tried to make their lot lighter by returning runaway slaves. And then there was some, like the Seminoles, that went to war with Andrew Jackson over protecting runaway slaves they captured. I hate to bring it to you all, but Mexico was a free territory before the United States and before Canada. It was safer for people, black people that were enslaved and got free to go out west and head into Mexico than it was to take your chances with the slave patrols going north to try to make it to Canada. History. This is history, people. This is not something that you can look up in a chart in the sky or something that well my grandmother told me that my great grandfather was a black Indian. Okay, that's the name of a tribe. That's the name of there are black tribe Indians, right? Indigenous people, right? So that's the name of tribe. So that's not saying that your grandfather couldn't have been indigenous. Couldn't have been. It's not saying that. There are lots of people that can trace the intermingling of genetic material that happened during the slave trade in this country. Hell, that's why some black people look light, fair skin, and that's why some have long black hair. It's like that's the intermingling that took place. That doesn't make you indigenous. It doesn't make you indigenous. And then these people measure their history in 400 years. I tell people all the time, the foundation of black. You just started your history as slavery. My history transcends slavery. That's why you all are so jealous and mad about other people taking something from you that they don't want. They don't want your enslavement. They don't want your enslavement. They got their own colonization issues to deal with. So they weren't kidnapped and dragged across the Atlantic into chattel slavery. But they had to fight the colonizer for their own history as they tried to wipe it out. Apartheid took place in South Africa because the Boers invaded South Africa and enslaved the indigenous black population and then used their genetic material to create colored class to use as a buffer between them. And they studied racism around the world and came up with a classification system under apartheid that was designed to oppress anybody who wasn't white. It's history. For you all to run around here and act like the civil rights movement was the only movement towards liberation of black people in the world, like South Africa wasn't in your face, like Ghana wasn't in your face, like Nigeria wasn't in your face, Algiers wasn't in your face, like these people were not fighting for their liberation also. The same people that talk about this idea that we're not our ancestors' children, are also the same people that didn't do a damn thing during apartheid. The same. What do you think about? Talking about what I think about, I think the fact that I don't separate myself from my brothers and sisters on the continent just because I'm in the diaspora. I got here because of a traumatic experience committed against and to cut my people off for that means I am lesser. I am the embodiment of every generation before me. Wherever they were, I'm their embodiment. I hearken back. See, I guess when you're cut off from the ancestors voluntarily, you don't have those long stretching memories about to when we built the civilizations that others tried to emulate. And we had universities before the word university was ever used in bogus and belong. Baloney. I know it's baloney. Call it baloney. It looks like baloney. It's spelled the same way. And we have taken the word Timbuktu and allowed the Western civilization to turn it into some kind of joke instead of recognizing it for the intellectual mecca that it was. But that irony, they were only to succeed was to integrate. But that irony, they only to succeed was to integrate. I want to work on that a little bit. I think I know what you're saying, but I don't want to. I don't want to interpret. So work it out a little bit. See, this is the thing. revolution doesn't just involve some temporary action. Revolution is a state of being as long as oppression exists and you are in opposition to oppression. Revolution is a state of being in opposition to oppression as long as oppression exists. So there is no temporary as long as oppression exists. You cannot say you're a true revolutionary if you're only fighting for a bigger cut of a pie while others are oppressed. Do you understand that? I think we get too caught up in, like I say, people want to be patted on the back. People wanna people wanna say, "You see what I did? You see what I did?" No, I didn't see shit because I was too busy over here fighting because I thought you had what you had to do, and I didn't have to look at you to see what you were doing because you were supposed to do what you're doing, and then we were supposed to move on. We'll celebrate when we are not on the battlefield, and I promise you, if it takes me patting you on the back, then I'll pat you on the back. But in the middle of battle, don't tell me you know what it did. You're supposed to do that. That's what I tell people. People want. I was talking to my brother today, and I was thinking about how low the bar is set on something. The bar is literally laying on the ground, and we expect to jump up and down because somebody lifted it. We say, and don't call yourself a revolutionary if you're not willing to put the work in. What's up? What's up? What's up, Lloyd? Passing through on my way to sleep. All right. Yeah, he has early morning shows that I listen to when I'm doing cardio. Shows are good for doing cardio. They're good for cardio. Yeah. So I put the headphones on and like I'm tackling a stairmaster. I'm honestly not sure there is a bar. And that's listen, listen, Raven. I'm not sure it's not an illusionary bar. It's like you get close enough to it, it's like a hologram. Yeah, it's a hologram. Because, like I say, most when we look, like I say, everything I showed you tonight when we talk about King files, when we're talking about everything that is used against us, there are people that look like me that lean into it, that become part of the problem. And I feel the same way about them that I feel about the oppressor. This is the difference between me. There are some people that will extend grace. I will extend grace to implicit biases and to people who truly don't. But when you are faced with the reality of truth and you call yourself an intellectual and you still refuse to accept it, you have branded yourself as a pot carrier for white supremacy to me. You're a pot carrier of white supremacy. When you start to act like the diaspora, and not even the diaspora, the American section of the diaspora is the only one that matters, you're my enemy. Because I have nephews and cousins in Ghana. I have friends throughout the diaspora. And you're telling me that they are fighting right now and their fight doesn't mean anything. You're telling me that the whole Haitian Revolution that we celebrate as a motivating factor for our own revolution doesn't mean anything. You act like Rosa Parks was the only one to ever sit down on a bus in the face of segregation. You act like Shaka wasn't beating the British at every point, and that motivated people countries or 3 or 4 countries away that he was fighting. You mean the story of Ethiopia being the only country that was not colonized in the age of colonization on the continent because they fought? You think that motivated other countries to fight? Yeah, stupid. I can't stomach it. I can't. It's one thing to not know and then find somebody and you learn and you do better. But it's another thing to not even want to know because you just want to do the work of white supremacy for them. And we have to get to that point where we have to stop accepting the excuse that people who are doing the work of white supremacy are just misunderstood. No, when you're out here, when you're out here infantilizing mediocre white men while dragging our community for a community of unity and not a community of separation, you're a problem. When you're out here talking about the African continent is working, because you don't even know how many countries are in Africa and don't understand that Nigerians are Nigerians, not Africans. That South Americans are South Americans, not Africans. The reason you all allow yourselves to be called African Americans in America is because you don't have a complete history of where your people come from, most likely in West Africa. And instead of, you know, doing some research, you just call yourself African American, hyphenated. What did Toni Morrison say about that? If Lloyd is still in here, what did Toni Morrison say about hyphenation? Yeah, America is white, everybody else hyphenates. If that's what you strive to. So when people tell me that they're striving to be, we're just all Americans, right? I say, I'm not white. I'm not white. A country that has been founded in racism, built in bigotry, and administered to by the ignorance of the intersection of those two. A country where we're watching a president attack a 14th Amendment that is the amendment that granted my ancestors citizenship to this country, and you want me to just feel secure in the idea that a piece of paper, and we know piece of papers don't stop bullets. Ask any woman that had a restraining order and her man decided to come over and visit. That restraining order didn't stop it. But you know what would stop it? Something that'll get me banned from his live. So yeah, something that would get me banned from his live. That's what would stop him. Yeah. So revolution is a state of being. It's not a destination in and of itself. Destination is liberation. The state of being required for that liberation is revolution. And it comes, and it's not just a revolution, it's the revolution. Because once you start to realize that the same oppressor that is responsible for strip mining Africa of mineral resources is the same oppressor that is trying to whitewash the history of this country and undermine the contribution of this generation of black people. Because if you control a person's history, if you can make them believe that that history is full of, in other words, if you just started like foundationally black people do at slavery, then all you know is the history of struggle. You don't know what liberation looks like. I tell people a lot of times, I say, you all don't know what liberation looks like because you don't study our history beyond colonization. Yes, I do. Um, yes, I do. I have I have PayPal. It's in my beacon link. It's in my beacon link. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to head back to bed. I need these. Okay, have a good one, Reese. I'll check in on you tomorrow. Yeah, I sent out pictures today. It was raining here. It was raining here. And I was that's another reason I'm fresh and clean, you know, because anytime I go outside for too long, I gotta come in and take a shower. Listen, listen, yeah, listen, yes, I go to between about 3 pair of boxes a day. I do. If it's an active day, it's 3 pair of boxes. 'Cause I gotta take a shower when you get up. You gotta take a shower when you work out. You gotta take a shower after workout. Then you have to take a shower when you come from the workout. Then you go out, do the work, then you have to make sure you take a shower before I come home. I hate the question when on any application, why are you worried about it? Mind your own business. What question? What question do you hate, Dark Knight? Did you find it? Did you find it, Ashley? It depends on what I've been doing, Goddess. It depends. The first one is usually going to be cool. I don't ever like them cold, but they're usually cool depending on what I need, what my body needs to do. So you can't gotta have, get this right here. You see that indentation? Can't take my shirt off. Can't take my shirt off. And then my legs are my favorite feature because they're easy to work out. They're easy to work out. So that is that. Do anybody have any questions? And like I say, I have a new setup. I take hot showers in the summer and winter. I can't stand cold showers. Like I say, cold. I have the cold challenge. Oh, we can't go anywhere yet. I haven't even talked about this video I got down here. Yeah, y'all stop talking to me for a minute. Let me make the last transition so we can get out of here. All right. So this transition is going to involve Hunter Biden. Y'all know Hunter Biden is mad. This interview, whole interview, is like 3 hours long. This is just some clips from it. Right? Hunter Biden is mad, and yeah, his dad pardoned him, and he out here fighting for his dad. And I can't say that I'm mad at Hunter Biden, but I'm also going to say this is why the Democrats are going to lose too, because they're taking this energy and doing something productive. Like this is Hunter Biden, right? And instead of Democrats challenging and being mad about what he's saying, they need to acknowledge that some of it is insightful and some of it is exciting. But then I didn't, as a son, as a son is one thing. Hunter Biden said what he said, right? And um, damn y'all, that's basically what I heard Hunter Biden say. So I want to listen to some of these clips, and if y'all want to watch more of it, let me know. I'm almost finished with all of it. It's 3 hours long, I believe. I'm almost finished with all of it. And some of it, like the part he does talk openly about his drug problem, his problems he's facing. He does talk openly about that. But it's 3 hours long, and I could break it up. We could look at it in sections if you all want to, but it's not all interesting. But these parts, yeah,
opinions, but fuck him. Fuck
oh
him.
yeah,
Fuck
F
him
bombs in
and
it.
everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of fucking David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior fucking speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40, $50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how
Thank you,
to have a
thank you.
better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Not to mention
Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper.
my mom or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
For real though, I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No, no,
because
no.
by the numbers, what influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He has the smallest audience on cable news, and beyond that, I think that the book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to to shit after he put the book out. You know, they did a 2-week infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with. That the journal opinions, but
And that's just 2 minutes of his rant because some of it was cut off. But that's just 2 minutes of his rant, right? And it's nice. Y'all hear it? How was the sound on that? Yes, as ASMR, AS Mister. Thank you. I got it. But that was 2 minutes of his rant. Y'all hear some sound? And I found it very informative. I know how Hunter Biden feels, but I also like the way that he took the opportunity to not he separate because he was right. He was right about the fact that a lot of people rode the coattails of Barack Obama into their position today as they put themselves as these pontiffs, these experts. And he's right. He's like, some of you all didn't win these positions because of who you were. You won these positions because of who Barack Obama was. Yes, it's not just the candidate. No, Barack Obama, no matter what kind of disagreements we may have on some things, at the end of the day, he is him. He is him. And he is the reason that he got there. He surrounded himself with you all as a buffer. And he's right. I remember watching those guys' podcasts, and I was like, I had to go look you all up to remember who you all were because you all wasn't like front and center in the Obama administration either. David Axelrod, I think David Axelrod's whole political career as far as campaign managers built him up for that moment. Yes, I do. I do. James Carville, same way. I mean, we remember James Carville from his days with Bill Clinton. He's been right on being an advisor ever since then. Which is, do your thing. But Hunter, Hunter out here defending his father, and I can't be, and I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him, but I do think it's how Democrats respond to him that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the problem. They're going to spend more energy responding to what um, a son said in defense of his father than they're going to spend tearing down everything Donald Trump is doing. They're going to be more upset about what he said in defense of his father are about really stopping and being resistance to this administration. And that's why I played it because, in essence, Hunter had every right. I would have done the same for my father. Exactly. Right. That's it. That's it, Amy. And that's why they can't see. They cannot see their own feelings because their feelings are more engaged about being called out and not realize he's calling you all out in defense of his father. The father that pardoned him, the father that has cradled him through his drug addiction, his loss, everything. So, yeah, get over yourselves, move on, let Hunter have his space. You all focus on what you're doing. That's what I talk about leadership. It's a failure of leadership to go out here and attack Hunter Biden. It's failure of leadership. It's a failure of leadership when everybody is so emotional. Oh, I don't want him saying that. Well, if you don't want the American people to pay attention to what he said as real, make something different happen for the American because you going after him only proves what he said. Only proves what he said. You're letting yourself, you all, as quiet as it kept, y'all called Hunter a crackhead too. What y'all did. When you all remember, now all of a sudden they want to have this selective memory. But you remember how mad Democrats were when he pardoned his own son? Oh, they on these shows. Well, I don't agree with this. I don't. Fuck you all. Lucky. I would have pardoned my son, my grandson. Listen, I just pardoned some people out and they called me uncle. Y'all just been mad. Y'all have just been mad at me. But you all are more upset about him pardoning his son than you are about Donald Trump pardoning January 6th insurrectionists. Everybody raised their hand that was surprised. I think if you followed me, you know that I said that if it was me, I'd have been pardoned my son. I don't care if I had to run on it. I'd have been pardoned. They've been bringing charges. I'd have been pardoning my son all through my administration because I know who my son is. And Hunter, that's his son. It's not like he pardoned somebody that was out here being a serial killer. Hunter was his greatest danger to himself. Hunter was you all out, they out here worried about was Hunter funneling money. Hunter was he was a danger to himself. And one thing about Joe Biden, I have no complaints about his love of his family. I never complained about it. You all lucky. I'd have, that's one thing you never heard me say anything about negative. Pardon, he gonna pardon his son. He should not pardon his son. He's the president of the United States. Donald Trump done pardoned almost more people than any president in history, and all of them were criminals that deserve to be where they were. Donald Trump has not pardoned anybody that I say didn't deserve to be right where they were in this term. None. And they out here worried about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden not Hunter Biden not running for office, and he not going to the White House to try to parlay. He's not going to foreign countries. Hunter Biden is sitting in his yard giving an interview to a man on a podcast. Democrats look so goofy with all the hand wringling and stuff. Yes, that's what I say. When Barack Obama was dead right, toughen up, toughen up. All this whining about stuff instead of doing something about it. If you're gonna talk, don't whine. Don't whine. Cuss a motherfucker out. Drop the F bomb every now and then. Obstruct Senate floor readings sometimes. Do like Charles Rangel. Take one for the team. Don't make it smooth. January 6th is like partying Jeff Jefferson. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's an either or in that case. Yeah, there are literally hundreds of young girls that I think would disagree with you. It's not an either or in that case. It's not an either or. It's not. It's just. It's not different levels. It's like horror. It's all horror stuff. It's like being in a horror story and you like, oh, I wasn't the first to get killed. I was the third to get killed. You still died. You still died. Booker hasn't really worked my nerves. Booker caught me off guard. You gotta know I knew Corey, and I knew Cory Booker working on an election in Mississippi together. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. That's putting it lightly. You all wonder. I know y'all wonder why don't I go to some of these same events that these TikTokers be going to, and they there because I fight. I fight. And the first time one of them did something, said something that I know they do better than, the viral video is going to be me throwing one out a window. I do it to protect myself. There are plenty of events I get invited to. I don't do advertising because the first time I advertise something for somebody, and the first time they start doing something Trumpian or oppressive, yeah, I need all of me. And by that I mean I don't like being lied to when it comes to the movement. Lie to me about a lot of things and I won't care about. I won't. I will not care about. Listen, I think the idea that people lie is get out of state. We lie. But don't lie to me about the movement. Don't lie to me to get my participation in something by telling me, hey, there's certain things I say, I can talk about this. And then I think about it and I'm like, nope, because the first time they do some fuck shit, I'm going to be knocking on their door. Yep, knocking on the door. So if you see me advertising something, there is something I do think I want to. It's the toffee because I was listening to him and he was like he told the Trump supporter, told him he didn't have to put politics in it to go fuck off. I'm gonna taste some of them. If I like them, I'll let you know. Oh, Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke. Let's see what you say about Beto. Beto said one thing right. Dems need to start fighting fire with fire. I think Dems need to start fighting fire with highly high grade explosives. Yeah. I think Democrats need to put on fire retardant suits and stop allowing themselves to get burned by weak fire. It's not even strong fire. It's weak fire. Listen, there are millions of Americans that are going to lose their health care benefits, right? And Democrats need to be crafting legislation if they plan to win. This is another thing. I say they don't plan to win because if you win, and when I plan, I have long term plans. When I plan to win or I'm planning something, just because I haven't got there, don't start. I mean, I don't start laying out the plans for what to do when I get there. They should be crafting legislation right now about how to appeal items that are going to adversely affect Americans under the one big beautiful bill. They need to be crafting. If they submitting it, it's not going to pass. They need to be crafting legislation so as soon as they can get a majority, they can put that legislation through. You don't, because you're gonna fuck around. You're gonna take 6 months to craft a piece of legislation, and the next thing you know, is the system has changed again under your feet. They're not. The American people do not have a long enough long-term memory to think about midterms that are 16 to 18 months from now. I said what I said. I said what I said. And instead of Democrats using this and drawing it out, Democrats don't understand. You need to draw some things out. You need to keep this in front of the American people. This means there are 216 of you all that need to be going around, and I need to see you all for the next 18 months on every news. Every time I turn on the news, I should be able to every 2 days see you all talking about Epstein. I wouldn't have been trying to get no files released. I'd have been talking about how they didn't get the files released. I'll be reminding MAGA supporters every chance I got that, hey, remember, I still haven't got the Epstein files yet, have you? I'm just saying, we got Dr. King. I know what color underwear Dr. King had on the day before he was assassinated, but you all don't even know where Epstein was the day before he was arrested. Just saying. That should be the talking point for the next 18 months. And they should divide themselves up into groups so people don't get tired of seeing the same one of them. But that will require organization. Right. Oh, I hate those commercials. You're right. What I got from the Surrounded episode, the far right are trying to keep the Constitution. Yeah, but we have folks bickering over team names. Listen, idea that people don't understand. And like I said, this is because Democrats are also horrible at countering misinformation. They leave it up to, when I be looking at people and they be saying, well, what maybe we should not do it because he just gonna pardon them. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because it still takes effort to pardon him. Yeah, all of it. I'm gonna do it because I wanted to pay national attention. I'm gonna do it. I don't think when did we get to thinking that not fighting back was somehow revolutionary? Somebody tell me that. When did we get to think that not fighting back is revolutionary? It's leadership. There is none. There is none. We reclaim patriotism, the right to hate to this country and the Constitution. I'm gonna tell you all something. Let me tell you something, Jackie. Newsflash: this country has never loved its Constitution. This country has never loved its Constitution. And what is there? And for me, what is there to love? The articles of the Constitution don't include me. I'm not even a thought in the Constitution until after the 13th Amendment, and then only for a couple. And women, I know you all not out here capping for the Constitution. You all didn't even have the right to vote in 1921. But I could remove every amendment to the Constitution of the United States, and the rights of mediocre white men will still be enshrouded in the article. You all want people want you to jump up and down for a constitution. Hold that talk. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Bella, I know it's over there. It's right real close. I was getting my copy of the Constitution of the United States, but I got some new books. I think I put it on. It's overrated to be replaced. It's not that the Constitution is overrated. The first 10, the first, the third, I have selective amendments I will skip over. It's not even so much that it's outdated. It's if I have to look to it for moral guidance, I've lost the battle already. Because this country has always interpreted the Constitution in the way that best fits them. Like, take the Second Amendment. People literally want to argue with the wording of the Second Amendment to somehow mean that you need an AK-47 with a night vision scope just in case the British come across the Atlantic. Just in case. Just in case. The idea that people think, oh, I have a right to protect myself. Who said you didn't? But you're not protecting yourself with an elephant gun unless, there are elephants roaming around. You're not protecting yourself with so many guns that you have to lock them in a lock safe at a storage shed, and you call yourself a collector, but don't know the difference between the Winchester 1869 and Remington 1921. Yes, I do know the difference. Yeah, you don't know the difference, but you're a collector, and You're not even collecting muskets or guns from within the last 100 years. You're collecting guns that were produced yesterday and day before yesterday. Hold on. Let me get my beanie ball. uh, yeah, I want to share that with you all. I know it's getting late. I know it's getting late. I'm just really enjoying this idea that I have all this ability. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for believing in me. But this, this we're not going to make it out this separate. We're all going to have to get through this together. 45 Senate seats are up for election, 20 GOP and 13 Democrats. And I think the only ones they have a chance of winning, they have a chance of holding Osmond's seat in Georgia. Um, Texas, they have a stand chance to pick up a Texas seat if they can find the right candidate, not better or worse. Um, Susan Collins' seat, they should be able to win that one. There are about 5 Senate seats that I think the Democrats have a possibility of winning. There are more Republican-held GOP states, some seats in the House of Representatives that if they ran good candidates, they could get. There's no reason that Republicans should be winning a seat in New York or California. That just shows you how embedded racism is in our system. There is no reason that a Republican, like Texas is talking about gerrymandering. That's the thing I want to tell people about Texas. Like, gerrymandering is a history of black voters in this country. We know gerrymandering. When I be looking at maps, um, district maps, voting district maps, and I be like, is that an amoeba? Yeah, that's gerrymandering. When you look at a map and it doesn't even follow the natural geographical boundaries of a city or a district, and it looks like someone just dropped an egg on it, that's gerrymandering. That's how you can tell gerrymandering. Yeah, so what? California gerrymanders, Tennessee, Texas gerrymanders to have more Republican seats. They're not going to have more Republican seats than they already have seats. But California could easily do the same thing. California, and this is what I tell people: you all don't understand how to use the tools that the oppressor has used to oppress us to liberate us. You always say, "Oh, we're gonna take the moral high ground." Listen, listen. That's another difference in me and others. Liberation is dirty, grimy. You got to get in the mud. You got to get how you live. It's not something that you're going to walk around here in white doing and expect to be like, oh, I'm just so above it. No, while you above it, I'm trying to chop the knees off. While you above it, I'm trying to find exploitable material on them. And the thing about it, I'm not even trying to blackmail them. I'm just trying to get rid of them. So I'm going to publish the information with all the receipts. No, I exceed energy. I exceed. I tell people the wrong thing you want to do is come at me and then miss, because I'm going to send overwhelming force in response. And I don't want anybody to tell me, oh, that was so disproportionate. They just did this to you. Why did you have to do this? Because I never want them to do it to me again. And I want it to be an example for the next person to think about it. You say, all he did was flick your ear behind me. I didn't know who it was. I, that could have been a precursor to an attack. So I punched all their teeth out. Take it over to the dentist. Take it over to the dentist. Keep your, I can't say that. Keep your hands to yourself, and you won't have to worry about how I respond with mine. Right? That's easy. If you you know if you know me, you know if you can hug me or not. If you know me, yes, you can hug me. If you just know of me, keep your distance until I give you permission to hug me or touch me. It's not a good idea to just be running up on somebody. You know, no, don't touch me. So I'm making sure that if you touch me without authorization, you become an example to somebody else who might be thinking, yeah, gerrymandering is how Lindsey Graham kept getting elected in South Carolina. Right, keep your words in. Right, talk about me behind my back. I'll tell you, I am I am not the bigger person. Well, I am the bigger person. I yes, I am literally the bigger person. Talk about me behind my back. I can't hear you. Because if you be like, oh, don't let it get to it didn't get to me. I just want to hit you anyway. It didn't get to me. I was looking for an excuse to hit you. You just gave me one. You gave me one. See? And that'll be a testimony to the next one. Like, yeah, TNathan not mentally balanced. And that's what they're gonna say. He's not mentally balanced. He's not put together. I am put together quite well. I know how to stop the next one. This is not only for you, it's the next person too. So listen, listen. I can make Teddy into a contact sport. I wait, I wait till listen, listen. You, and I want to talk about Shannon Sharp, but I don't have any time. I guess I'll hit it up tomorrow. Because them people, Amy, them some weird people in my comment section defending Shannon Sharp. Them some weird people. We'll talk about that tomorrow, all right? But now, I'll end this, get out of here, take Bella out, all right? YouTube.